Hey ladies and gentlemen, Mark Sham here, founder and CEO of Suits and Sneakers. As has been the tradition for the last few weeks, we have been shining a spotlight, or I have, on women who inspire me, and we've decided to go beyond Women's Month. And today is a bit of a selfish indulgence, if I'm honest, because I have Margaret Hirsch from Hirsch is sitting here with me, and it's just been phenomenal to actually get to know you, so welcome to the show. I really am so glad. Thank you for making the time to be here. I always love to just start us with a very simple question. For the three people in the universe that don't know who you are, who are you and what is the value that you believe you add to the world?
Well, my name is Margaret Hirsch. I own Hirsch's Home Stores. We've been going for 41 years, which I think is quite a feat in today's day and age when businesses don't last that long.
Yes.
So, we started from a tiny mom and pop store and now to a multi-billion-dollar company. And we enjoy what we do every single day. I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, and I just love what I do and I do what I love. And I work with entrepreneurs now on a daily basis, helping them to grow their businesses and helping them to survive and thrive through COVID.
I was going to say, I mean, there are two things that really stick out for me when it comes to you, in that I feel you've gone way beyond just traditional business. You've really taken it upon yourself to get involved in the landscape in South Africa and try to lift other people up. Where did that come from?
Well, I believe that this country is the best country in the world, without a shadow of doubt. I believe it's a land of wealth and abundance, and I believe the people that are poor here are only poor because they don't know how to be rich. And if we can teach them how to be rich, and how do we do that? We teach them by being entrepreneurs, because the entrepreneurs of this country are the people who are going to actually buoy it up through all the rubbish, through all the politics, through all the stuff that's going on. The entrepreneurs of this country are like the balloons that are buoying this country up and will keep it floating. And the more entrepreneurs we can have, the better it's going to be. And that's why I believe everybody in this country should be an entrepreneur. If I had my way, I'd get rid of all the social grants and make everybody become an entrepreneur. They would all earn money. They would all earn so much more than the little bit that they're used to now. And everybody would become so much better.
I mean, that is a very interesting perspective, and I would have to agree with you, but I'm also biased because I'm an entrepreneur, and so I tend towards you. There's something that I have to just share with you, and I'd love to get your feedback at the same time, is, you know, it's funny, I think that people in your position who, your company is quite a household name, and through your marketing and advertising, you've kind of become household in your own right, you and Ellen. And it's funny because the perception that I had of you, neither good or bad, is absolutely not the person I've come to know over the time. And I've just really found that you have a real heart, not just for saying these things and doing these things. What is it like when people meet you in the street? Do you get, like, I'm curious, like, do people come at you and go, hey, Margaret, or?
Well, they do, but usually they tell me about their broken toaster or the fridge their mother bought or their uncle's stove that isn't working. So yeah, they do come and tell me and say, hey, you know, this is you. And I'm very fortunate this month to be on the cover of the local magazine in Durban, the Get It magazine. So they say, oh, you're the lady on the cover of the magazine? And I say, yes. And then I'm on Glow TV and they say, oh, I know you from Glow TV. You're in my lounge every night. I say, thank you, I love being there. So yeah, it is super, but you know, it just brings you down to earth, and we're all people at the end of the day. It doesn't matter how rich or poor you are, we're all people, and we've got to chat to each other, look after each other. And that's what I've missed most over COVID, is not being able to chat to people, because, you know, I run women's groups. I'm always in crowds of women and crowds of people, and suddenly to be isolated, it was very different. I got used to it and I ran with it. But I must say, I can't wait until we can all get back together and be sharing again.
Yeah, I agree with you. And look, one of the major reasons I wanted to have you here is not just because of what you do. I've gotten to know you a bit over the last few years because of Suits and Sneakers. And what I've really just found, why I would say one of the big reasons that you inspire me and why I wanted to have you here, is I really do see you as one of those people who has a heart for the country. You inspire me because you go to work flat. Like, you've always said to me, I'm going to work until I die. Like, I love what I do. And the schedule that you guys have is crazy. I think if people hear it not from you, they would think that people are lying about your schedule. So, I mean, I don't know if you want to, but I would love to hear, like, are you still going at the pace that...
I still am. I still get up at 4 o'clock every morning. My alarm goes off at 4. I get up and I just have a wash and that, and then I meditate. I still meditate every day. I believe that meditation. In fact, I had a lady write to me yesterday and she just said, I'm going through such a hard time. I said, have you tried meditation? She said, what's that? So I sent her a meditation from my phone, and she was like mailing me all the time. I'm unhappy, I'm depressed, I'm blah, blah, blah. Suddenly, I haven't heard another peep. So I'm pretty sure that the meditation works. So I meditate every morning. I get up, I get dressed. I usually, when we used to go to gym, I used to go to gym from 5 till 6. Now I do yoga. I've taken up yoga. When we couldn't go out anymore, I thought, what do I do? So I took up yoga. I absolutely love it because, you know, as you get older, and I'll be 70 this year, so as you get older, you find that you're not so supple anymore. And for all those people out there, if you just want to do yoga, it will just makes your life so much better. It's a thinking thing. It's a physical thing. It's everything. And then I work. I'm at work from 7 o'clock in the morning. I meet with my managers. 7:30, we're now going live on Zoom, so to all 22 outlets every day. Wow. And so my huge staff, I used to fly around the country, Monday, Tuesday, Joburg, Wednesday, Thursday, Cape Town, Friday, Saturday, Durban, 1 week of the month out the country. Now I do it all by Zoom, so it's so much better. I'm on my beautiful farm in the Midlands, and I can do it on Zoom, and I beam into everybody, and everybody thinks I'm talking to them personally. It is so much more personal than actually being there, because when you're there, you're talking to a group, but you're not talking to anybody personally. When you're on Zoom, you're talking to that person personally, and it just makes a huge difference.
Yes.
So I do that, and then I work through the day. Now all on Zoom, but before with my clients, with my staff. I train my staff every day. So, and then at night I work with my suppliers, because you know your suppliers can make or break you. And for people in business, always treat your suppliers like gold, because they can make or break you. You know, in these difficult times when now stock is very short, because remember the boats were coming and they couldn't dock because of the people had COVID on the boat. The people on the docks had COVID, they couldn't get the stuff. So we're short of stock now, and our suppliers are looking after us because we've looked after them for so long. Yeah.
So one of my favorite things to be able to do with this little segment, I mean, it's not very long, is kind of just show people some of the behind the scenes of people that I think are doing amazing things. Yeah. And one of the things that's always stuck out with me is, without question, your work ethic. Yeah. But aside from work ethic, I think one of my favorite things about you has become that you have this innate ability that no matter how old you get age-wise, you are always spontaneous, open to new things. Like you've never had an aversion, or to me, it doesn't seem like you ever have an aversion toward new or interesting. So what would you attribute? Do you agree with that?
I agree.
What would you attribute
I'm
that
always,
to?
I mean, you've got to keep on top of it. You know, I use my mother as an example. My mother's 25 years older than me. And when cell phones came in, she said, I'm not going to bother with this. It's just a fad, you know. And now, of course, you can't do anything unless you've got a cell phone. So I'm very blessed to have a young team that's with me all the time, and we work together as a team, and they are into the social media, and they keep me up to date with things like TikTok and that a normal person that's sitting at home would not even know about. But I think that's why it's so important that you keep active and keep out there and keep a young team around you, because then they grow. And I'm very blessed to have 5 grandsons, and my grandsons also, I mean, they teach me things that I've never, they're doing YouTube videos and things aged between 6 and 12 that, I mean, I wouldn't even thought of, and they're so clever when it comes to that type of thing. So they inspire you, they teach you as well.
But you've always clearly seemed to, would you say you've always had this openness?
Yeah, I'm always open to, you know, I believe you've got to take every opportunity, and I believe that's why a lot of people don't get on in life, because opportunities come past you all the time. And when I go to the schools, I walk around with a 100 Rand note, and I say, who wants this 100 Rand? And usually the schools are quite impoverished schools, and everybody wants that 100 Rand, but only one person will actually take it. And I say, my boy, you are going to be the one who's going to really be so famous in South Africa, because you got up and you took that opportunity of taking that 100 Rand. And everybody else wanted it. And you can even do it again, and they still want it, but they can't bring themselves to do it. And I think you have to grab the opportunities as they come along. And if you grab them, you never know which opportunity will be the one that will change your whole life right round.
Yeah, and I've really been lucky enough to actually witness that this is just how you are. This is how it's built. And I think I wish more people knew that, because then they would understand that the success that you've experienced hasn't been accidental. And to your point, you've been around as a business for so long. So I would love to just break down maybe just a few lessons that you would love to share that you've learned, say, in this year, because COVID hit, it forced big and small businesses alike to turn into startups again in the way they responded to everything. You want to just share some of your thoughts for this year?
I think the very big thing, which a lot of people don't do, is when they earn money, they spend it straight away. And you've got to invest it, and you've got to help your money to grow for you. So when COVID hit, we obviously had massive accounts to pay. We were closed for 6 weeks. We didn't take 1 cent in for 6 weeks. We had these huge accounts hanging overhead, not to mention a massive salary bill as well of millions and millions of rands. So, you know, where was that money going to come from? Well, it came from the money that we saved, we put away, we'd invested, and we'd invested well in property. We had access bonds, and we could draw on those, so we could pay everybody, pay our salaries. And so I remember at that stage, we didn't know how long it was going to take. And we didn't know, I mean, everybody, when it first hit us, you all know, 3 weeks, this is a lovely holiday in the middle of the year, and suddenly, boof, you get that that wet fish hits you and you just say, oh my God, how am I going to do this?
Yes.
And then you have to start working and strategizing. And we were very blessed to have a fantastic team who worked. We strategized, we took the money, we jiggled, we juggled, and we just got it right. And we just got through the end of April. And then when May came and we went onto level 4, we could only sell heaters. So, and you remember, and it wasn't even cold then, but we sold heaters like there was no tomorrow, because that was all we could sell. Then we could sell cooking appliances. We sold cooking appliances. We got everybody interested in cooking, so they would buy the cooking appliances. And then they'd come and say, please sell me a TV. We'd say, we can't sell you a TV. And then went on to level 3. Then we could sell TVs and washing machines and that. And then it started to pick up. And then we've just grown from there. So I think you've just got to do what you can where you are with what you have, you know. And I see that when I start with young entrepreneurs. I say, how much money have you got? And the one lady, she just tipped out her handbag. She only had 30 Rand. We started with 30 Rand. Today, she owns her own house in Somerset West. She drives a Mercedes-Benz and she's got a double cab.
So there's no question in my mind that poverty and wealth is a mentality alike.
It's all in the head. You rich or poor in your head. What your bank balance has nothing to do with it.
Who would you say really impacted you from this perspective or helped you with this mindset?
There's no doubt about Tony Robbins. My first Tony Robbins course, and remember I only did that when I was 50 years old. My husband gave it to me for my 50th birthday. I did that Tony Robbins course, and that really just flipped my whole mind completely from, you know, this is money in, money out, money in, I'm going to eat, I'm going to sleep, this is what I've got to do, to, oh my God, there's more to life than this. I can do this, I can make it big, and I can help others. Why do I want, you know, the wealth and the success? Because I've helped others to show them that they don't have to live a life of poverty. You live a life of poverty from choice, not because of any other reason.
I love it. And actually, just as a side note, I've been threatening to go to him forever.
Yes.
And then I think that's what
Well,
happened.
he's doing it online now. You've got no excuse. He's got 28,000 people already signed up at $500 per person. You do the maths. That's $14 million he's going to earn in one day.
No, I signed up pre-COVID, and now it's COVID hit, so he's created this cool offer where we can go to both this year and next year combined. Anyway, so I'm kind of with you on that. So 2 last questions, I think, from me. I would love to know, how do you see your future looking like now that things have eased up a little bit? What's driving you right now? What's interesting in your life moving forward over the next year or so?
Well, I think helping a lot of entrepreneurs. You know, there are a lot of people who never thought they'd be an entrepreneur. They lost their job. I was working for this firm. I was going to be working there forever. Now I have no job. What am I going to do? And I say, what are you passionate about? Well, I'm passionate about photography or baking, or whatever that. And then we start with that. And because when you have nothing, you can only sell your skills. So what can you do? You sell your skills first off. And from that, the money you earn, you plow that back into the business. You don't go spending it and buying new cars and houses. No, you plow that back into the business. You make that business grow. And as that business grows, so you just keep investing until you've got that solid foundation. And when you've got that, then you can start branching out and buying yourself a nice car and a nice house and things. But until that, you've got to have that foundation. So I see myself helping so many people who now are being thrown to be forced to become entrepreneurs. And they're going to look back and say, it was the best thing that ever happened to me, because now I realize I don't have to work for a boss and make a living. I can work for myself and make a fortune. Because when you're working for yourself, the harder you work, the more money you have. It's a very simple formula.
I've tried to make this, as time was going on, less and less about Women's Month, because actually why are we doing Women's Month? It should be continuous. But I would love to just hear from you. Any women that particularly inspire you or you feel are worth mentioning as a shout out?
Yeah, there's so many. You know, you could go through all the normal ones, but I think the woman who really made me see and think globally is Melanie Hawken, who owns Lionesses of Africa. Because Melanie, it was an accident in her life that changed her life, and she saw life fleeting past her and just thought, I'm going to make the best of the rest of my life. She's gone out, and I was one of the first entrepreneurs she ever interviewed, and today, we're only 5 years on, she's got 1.4 million African women entrepreneurs on her books, and she communicates with us every single day. Every day at 7 o'clock, that memo will come through with a motivation, with what's happening, with somebody else who's doing well. So yeah, I think Melanie was a great influence in my life. And there's lots and lots of people. I mean, people like Jayshree Naidu, where I worked with her at Standbank Incubator. You know, I mean, in South Africa, we've got hundreds and hundreds, and I have lots of women that I deal with. I have my own group called WOW, which is Women of Worth. We meet once a month, Durban, Cape Town, Joburg. And these are wonderful, wonderful women. In fact, my businesswoman of the year, Laurie Milner, it's her birthday today. So happy birthday, Laurie. And and she was my businesswoman of the year for Gauteng. And I can't wait until we can get back to the gala dinners to celebrate these amazing women.
Okay, so last one from me. What I'd like to do is, in closing for you, you're welcome to look at the camera or me. If you had the whole of South Africa kind of watching you right now, and you could leave them with one message, give or take, what would that be?
Well, it's from the old Zig Ziglar, which he says you can have anything if you want, if you help enough people to get what they want, and that's what it's all about.
So I want to finish off by just giving you my tip.
Yes.
Tip of the hat, not tip. Is that above all else, we've got to enjoy a rather unorthodox relationship, because we've never done business together or anything like that. We just always enjoyed each other's company, and this came through suits and sneakers. And I think if I were to take all the lessons that we spoke about during today away, they all stick. Your work ethic, your rare, deep desire to want to give back, etc. But I have to say, up there is just that you have such an infectious, exuberant nature. You're always just so excited and happy and going, and it reminds me. So I actually watch a lot of your stuff, on social media, right? And I just think to myself, like, the easiest thing to do in the world is to be quite cynical, especially as time goes on. And yet I just feel like you go the opposite way as you get on. So just from me to you, above all the things you've spoken about, I love that about you, and may you never lose that ever. I doubt it'll ever happen. And thank you for your time, for being here. Thank you for all of this, and I can't wait to actually release this.
Me too. I'm very glad. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.